Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. It is June 18, 2020. Let's begin this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast right now. First up, COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know information. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 5,436 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 2,159,446 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 330 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 531 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 117,663 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire right here, where current cases of COVID-19 are in New Hampshire. Manchester, 221. And let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire, where total cases of COVID-19 are in New Hampshire. Manchester, 1444. And let's take a look at this chart here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases in the orange. New hospitalizations, and in the red are the deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Total current COVID-19 cases in the orange. Current hospitalizations. And let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple. Total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalizations. In the red, deaths. And then blue, recovered. Let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases. Female and male of cases. And risk information. Let's take a look at this chart here. Infections. Hospitalizations. And deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths. Percent of New Hampshire population. Race/ethnicity of cases. And hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, and difficult breathing. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Defense lawyers file motion to block certain evidence at Zazowski's trial. Vladimir Zazowski faced charges in connection to deaths of 7 motorcyclists last year. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Beltate's Building Supply is here to help build a better summer at your home. From building materials to all types of tools, paint, and everything else you need to make home improvements a snap. Shop online at beltates.com. Visit one of our 9 locations or place your order via phone or email.
Well, this week, the defense filed 3 motions seeking to block evidence that prosecutors say they intend to introduce. This includes a crash in Texas. It happened just weeks before the deadly Randolph crash. Zukowski's attorneys say he was not found to be at fault or impaired in that crash. They also question the relevance of an OUI charge from 2014. The state also seeks to introduce statements from 3 alleged witnesses who they claim observed the defendant driving erratically on the day of the Randolph crash. The defense objects to that evidence and is requesting an evidentiary hearing if necessary. Zukowski's attorneys also oppose the state introducing an alleged prior instance of heroin use and an overdose unrelated to the incident in question, claiming it will unfairly prejudice him to the jury. No judge has not made a decision on any of these motions yet. A trial is set for November. Reporting live, Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. The economy seems to be turning a corner, but jobless claims are still in the millions. Although the U.S. economy has shown signs of improving in recent weeks as lockdown restrictions have eased, millions of Americans are still seeking unemployment aid to make ends meet. Another 1.5 million workers filed for the first-time jobless benefits last week, the Department of Labor said. Thursday, initial claims have been filing every week since the peak at 6.9 million in the last week of March. Economists think this means that most job losses due to the pandemic are behind us. Dow recovers from 271 points loss, turns positive as reopening stocks rise. Stocks clawed back most of their earlier losses on Thursday as shares of companies benefited from the economic recovery. Investigation into helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Now to major developments late today in the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash investigation. The preliminary report from the NTSB just in tonight. And what we've now learned. Here's Adrian Bankers.
Tonight, the new report on the crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others, including their pilot, who in their final moments told air traffic control they were climbing to 4,000 feet. But in reality, they were falling, according to the NTSB, evidence that the veteran pilot may have been disoriented in the fog. This and other details, part of more than 1,000 pages of communications now made public, including text messages sent from the pilot, Ara Zabayan, one of Bryant's preferred pilots. The report outlines that those who flew for the NBA champion had to be thoroughly vetted and on an approved list of pilots, and that the aircraft was required to be a dual-engine helicopter. Leading up to the flight, employees with OC Helicopter and Kobe's driver talked about weather and logistics. The night before, the crew asks, does weather look okay tomorrow? The pilot says, just checked, not the best day tomorrow, but it is not as bad as today. Crews asking again the morning of the crash, how is weather looking for a 9 a.m. departure? The pilot saying, should be okay. With crew chiming in, I agree. The helicopter wheels up 6 minutes past the hour. Less than 30 minutes later, Kobe Bryant's driver says, just started raining lightly here. 15 minutes later at 9:48 a.m., the crew asks, did they land? Their driver responding, not yet.
And just minutes before that text exchange, the helicopter had already crashed. Investigators have yet to determine an official cause. David?
All right, Adrian Banker for the late news tonight. Adrian, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great rest of your afternoon, everyone. I will be off air this evening, and I will be back on air tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day, everyone, and goodbye.